Juggalos, juggalettes, what's happening? This video is meant to be informative and educational and meant to serve to be a guide for anybody attending the gathering of the Juggalos in terms of the drugs that they may consume out there. This video is to intend on how to use drugs safely and specifically to test all of your drugs and how to test them the correct way and the safe way to know that what you are taking and consuming is safe for you and your body. Now, many of you at the gathering might want to invest in some LSD and mushrooms, just the classic psychedelics that many people like to get into. I don't know if it's your thing to maybe watch Hell's Pit being performed by the Insane Clown Posse while under the influence of mushrooms or acid. That sounds like a fucking dope experience to me. But if you want to do that, do it in the safe way. And I will start out by showing you the best test kit to get for this. This is called the Ehrlich test. Ehrlich's reagent testing kit. Now, this is the best test kit that you can get when it comes to testing whether or not you have LSD versus some research chemical like 2,5-INBOMe or any of the other research chemicals that are potentially dangerous. We all know that indole alkaloids such as LSD and psilocybin are much less harmful to the body and the brain as less researched compounds such as 2,5-INBOMe. So the Ehrlich reagent test kit will be the best bet for you to determine whether or not you have LSD or other indoles versus research chemicals. Now, what you do is you drop a little dropper on your substance, and it'll change color. And so what you want here is, hopefully if you buy a tab of LSD at the gathering, and you put a little drop of the Ehrlich test on a sample of the LSD, and hopefully it will turn a purple color. And that will be true for any of these that you see over here. But what you don't want is research chemicals. Those will turn out to be a different color, or they won't react. LSD and mushrooms and DMT are all very simple chemicals, and luckily one test will pretty much rule out those. Unfortunately, when it comes to compounds such as MDMA, which is very popular to take during music festivals and especially at the gathering of the Juggalos, you need to be really safe and cautious on what you take. There are many different compounds out there, and a lot of shit that you get there is going to be adulterated and full of, it'll be cut with fucking anything. It could be cut with bath salts, it could be cut with meth, it could be cut with heroin. You need to be really careful when it comes down to messing around with MDMA. So now I'm going to show you the best testing kit you can get to test your MDMA and make sure it is in fact the good shit. The best basic drug test you can get for the MDMA test is called the Marquis, and I will show you what that looks like right now. Now, with this test, you use the same mechanism. You drop a little bit of the liquid onto your specimen of MDMA, and hopefully, if it is MDMA, it will turn out to start out purple, and as time goes by, it'll get darker purple and almost black. That's what you're looking for. Also, something really close to MDMA is MDA or MDE. Those are also relatively safe, just as safe as MDMA are. Some people report that those are even more pleasurable. So if you get results in this area, then you're in good standing. However, if some fuck sells you MDMA and you get this as your result, it starts from white to creamish to orange, then you got some fucking speed in that shit, or some meth. If it turns greenish, you got some 2CB. If it turns yellowish to greenish to bluish, and this is all over a time scale of about a minute, then you got 2CI. I gotta tell you something about the Marquis test though. It is really classified as a first stage test. This means that really you're not testing if it is for sure MDMA. Rather, what you're doing is you're testing to make sure it is not adulterated with other bullshit in it. Like meth, or speed, or ketamine, or something you don't want in it. That's why, when you're fucking with MDMA, it's wise to get a second stage set. A second stage test. To make sure to rule out as many things as you possibly can. To make sure that that shit's good. I will go over one other class of tests, and this is the second stage testing for MDMA. These are called the mech and the mandolin tests. These are after you have already used the Marquis and ruled out that it's not some bullshit. As you can see from these two charts, and I apologize guys, my lighting is kind of off. If you actually go to these websites, you'll be able to see the actual colors. My phone kind of fucks with the hues a little bit, but again, these are best to rule out. So for example, the mech, that's the best way to rule out that your MDMA specimen has no DXM in it, because it will obviously show a specific color for DXM. As you can see, it will be yellow, and as opposed to the Marquis, your MDMA source should be in the greens for the mech. So with the mech or the mandolin, this could be your second stage. Some people even use the mandolin as the stage 3 to triple check to make sure what you got is fucking Molly or MDMA. This specimen should go from white to black if it's good stuff. And this is best to rule out any other research chemicals such as methoxyphetamine and all kinds of crazy ass shit. And I don't know if you guys are nuts and want to try that shit, but this is just for the people that want to try to play it safe. So I'm sure that after watching that video, you're like, okay, great Danny boy, you got all kinds of great advice, but how the fuck am I gonna be able to test all this shit at the gathering of the Juggalos? Like, are you goddamn cocksucking kidding me? Let me tell you something. There is a website called bunkpolice.com. All you do is go to that, go to the tab on the top that says shop, and look for this package right here. Boom. Those are the 3 test kits I just talked to you about. Elric, Marquis, and Mandolin. This is your most basic package for testing your doses and your mollies and ecstasies and all that kind of stuff. And guess what? It's for a really relatively decent price. You get 50 to 100 uses per bottle, test tubes, and an instructional booklet with dozens of reactions and charts on it so you know what colors you're looking for. Ninjas, trust me, this is totally worth it to invest in something like this. Don't let the other motherfuckers test your shit for you, because there will be people set up at the gathering for all you first-time gatherers. There's going to be people that will say they'll test your drugs, and you know, some of them might be genuine, but the reality is the best thing to do is have your own. Invest in some of this before you leave. Buy you some. Store it in a cool place, you know, because this stuff might go bad and heat. Make sure to keep it in your cooler. And that way, when you go to do a transaction and get some loosey-goosey or whatever, you just bust your little test kit out, plop it on a specimen, make sure you got what you got, because you wouldn't want to end up having a fucking bad time. Gather safely, motherfuckers. Hope this video has helped you guys out. And this is all just about promoting safe drug use, because I know it's gonna happen anyway. There ain't nothing I can do to stop it, so we might as well be safe about how we consume these mind-altering substances. Peace out, y'all. Like and subscribe, and have a good night. Woo woo.